Please pass the milk, please. Please pass the milk, please. Please pass the milk, please.
Now we've got some ground. The problem, of course, is we don't have a sky. So let's go and make a sky. Still in backgrounds, I'm going to make a composition. I'm going to call that composition sky. I'm going to make this 320 by 240. And that is the default web video size. I believe that's the size YouTube uses. I'm not 100% sure about that because I know they're now rolling out high definition videos, so that may change, but for right now that'll be good enough for us. And that will be all. This is also going to be the size of our final composition, so the sky will be exactly the same size we need. Okay, so here we are in sky, and I'm going to take that cloud sky image and drop it in here like so. And you'll see this image is way bigger than we need, but I did that on purpose. What I'm going to do, toggle this down, position. Here on frame 0, I'm going to make a keyframe for the position. Fast forward here to 15 seconds, and I'm just going to move it over to the left a little bit. Let's see how that looks. So the result here is now we've got clouds that are just kind of panning along in the background. Gives it a neat little touch. Now we'll be back with this sky here in a minute. Let's go back to ground. Here we are in our ground layer. We've got the hills, we've got the ground. Let's throw Ron Paul in there now. So I'm going to take the Ron Paul layer. I'm going to drop him right here onto the ground. Now the way you organize all your comps, that's going to be entirely up to you. But again, don't be shy. Use folders, organize it, or you're going to get 2 hours into it and lose your mind because you can't find something. And it gets real messy. Now I'm going to scale Ron Paul now down. And the beautiful thing is because Ron Paul is all in his own comp, I only have to scale it once. I don't have to keep scaling for each and every piece of the animation because that would take a whole lot longer. So here we've got Ron Paul, and of course the problem is he's running in place. We don't want that. So let's do this. We'll take Ron Paul, we'll put him over here, we'll toggle down, and just like we did with the sky, we'll do some tweening for the position. So we'll start here at position, and he'll walk right there when he runs. We'll do a keyframe there too. So we'll say he walks to the clouds. Let's see how it looks. Is that the right speed? Yeah, it looks about the right speed. And then right when he hits this, we're going to have him run. Let's see. This is where you just kind of play with it. This is actually kind of fun. Let's see. He's running. I'm going to have him run off the screen. And then I'm actually going to have him just run right back on, just because. So what I'm going to do here is make a keyframe for scale. And right here at the next frame, I'm going to flip him around. So I'm going to go one frame over. And then I'm just going to reverse him. So he was at 58%. I'm going to put him at negative 58. Right there, and 58. And put him right back where he was. And then let's have him run back in. Where does he kick? He kicks right there. Let's see how that looks. Runs off, runs back, and he kicks. And you'll see this is already reversed. It's all one layer, so we can just make the changes to this, and all the other stuff we've done changes automatically, which is great. Comps are awesome. So the more you learn about them, the better it is, the easier it is for you. Kick, and then he's done kicking. So I'm going to copy and paste the position keyframe. Then I'm going to have him just run off screen in the other direction. Let's see how this looks at this point. He walks in, he runs off the screen, he runs right back, he kicks, and then he runs off again. And of course, you can move the keyframes if we move it closer. he runs faster. If we move it further away, he'll run slower. And we can play with this all you want. Another nice thing, you know what, I'll bring this up now. Right here, this keyframe, it goes from one speed immediately to another. And maybe we can kind of soften that up a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that keyframe, go to Animation, Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. And you'll see it adds just a little touch. It'll kind of slow down and then it'll kind of run there. You see how he kind of starts slow and he kind of gets a little faster as he goes. That's easing. I'm going to go back to this, select the position, and I'm going to click the graph tool, which is right here. Oops, screwed up. I only want that one frame. Hit the graph tool, and here it is right there. So what I can do, for example, is kind of do this. We're going to keep the same pace, then I'll drop off, and then kind of slope it out a little bit. And now how does it look? He'll keep walking, and then he'll slowly, kind of like he's running in glue or something. Doesn't really look that great for this particular shot, but easing is a good touch whenever you want to add that little touch. It's kind of a good thing to know how to do. Put it up here, he walks, and then there he goes, he runs off again. Okay, so we've got Ron Paul running around in Mario Land. Now, let's put this together. The first thing you've probably already noticed is this is too big. We can't fit all this into a 320 by 240. I did that on purpose. Now I'm going to make a new comp. I'm going to call that comp Final 320 by 240, 15 seconds long. The first thing I'm going to do here in Final is I'm going to take my sky layer and I'm going to drop it right there. So we're starting with our sky. Next thing I'm going to do is take the ground layer, which includes Ron Paul, and I'm going to drop this in here too. Now as you can see, it's too big, so he's going to walk right off the side of the screen. But the cool thing now is that we can actually sit here and adjust the ground layer using position and scale and make it look as if the camera is moving with him. For example, I'm going to start here, I'm going to scale it down a little bit, move it like so. And right about here, scale it back out. So we're in tight. Center it on the screen. What does this do? Well, now it looks like we're zooming in on him. I think that's a pretty cool effect. It almost looks like you've got an actual camera there. Now you're zooming in. And of course, when he starts to run, you can pan the scene by simply moving the position over to the left. Go all the way to the end of the scene. And how does that look? Now we're panning with him. And we can pan right back. And you'll note, here we go, we pan over, we pan back, and this frame here is a great place for another one of those easy easings. Let's see how that looks with an easy ease. This camera slows down, then it speeds up again. Adds that nice little touch. Kicks, and then we can go off. And by here we can zoom back